Let's start today's analysis on the Bitcoin dominance, because I think it's a very important one which I actually haven't mentioned on this channel yet, and I'm going to start referencing a bit more because it's going to give us quite good information. If you don't know what this is, it basically tells you how strong Bitcoin is compared to altcoins. Now, why is that useful? I'm actually going to use it to do my whole market reading, because it's going to tell me how aggressive we're expecting Bitcoin to be compared to the altcoins. Is Bitcoin going to be getting more moves either up or down, or is Bitcoin going to be moving less and the altcoins are going to be moving a lot more? Well, the easiest way to see it, okay, think of it as if Bitcoin is going down and dominance is going down, so both are in harmony, that means that altcoins are going to be underperforming. As in what? Well, if Bitcoin is dropping and the dominance is also dropping, that means that altcoins are going to be dropping less. Bitcoin is going to be probably dropping more. If, okay, the Bitcoin dominance is dropping and the price of Bitcoin is not in harmony with that, the price of Bitcoin is either going sideways or it's going up, then we can be expecting more aggressive moves on altcoins. So if Bitcoin and the dominance are in harmony, they're doing the exact same thing, we can expect bigger moves on Bitcoin, smaller moves on altcoins. If there's a divergence, if the price of Bitcoin is not doing the same thing as the dominance, we can expect more aggressive moves on altcoins. Now, this does not mean your random coin that's on the top 700 that moves a 27% daily. No, I'm talking about normal altcoins: XRP, Ethereum, Solana, BNB, Doge. The ones that are not going to be super manipulated meme shitcoins. Okay, so having said that, what can we see now? Bitcoin dominance dropping. In fact, Bitcoin at the minute is currently dropping as well. So they are in harmony. What did I just tell you? If they're in harmony, that means that we could be expecting bigger moves on Bitcoin rather than altcoins. Let's analyze. Let's see what is happening. Let's do a quick recap, because finally I've got something to tell you, because we're changing some structure. We're doing something. It's fine if we don't go up. At least I've got something to tell you. At least I've got something new to trade and to look forward to. We went long down there. We went short down there. And I fully closed my short, which looking at it now is a bit silly. But look, I'm not a wizard. I can't read the future. And we went long exactly there. As you can see, my long is now getting killed, is now getting slapped, which is not great. But look, we did some fairly good trades. We've managed to make quite a lot of money. It was about time that we had a stop loss hit, so I can't complain too much. This is still the range, okay, which we have been in. Range on there, and then another range like this, okay? We've been going from top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom. Fine. What's my next target? We tried to go long there because it was the 0.618 level. We had a fair value gap. We had the points of control. We had a few things. And I was still thinking we could get some sort of a rotation back up. That hasn't happened. And I'm now getting stopped out. Fine. What's my next target? We've got a disgusting, and I mean disgusting, amount of liquidity below these levels. This one, and this one. Why am I saying it's a disgusting amount of liquidity? Because we have cleared this liquidity and these liquidities over here with this push up. We've even cleared this liquidity with this little push up. So the top side has been somewhat dealt with. What hasn't been dealt with at all has been the liquidity that has been formed for the past 41 days. On the bottom side of everyone that was going long anywhere around here in this whole area, placing their stop loss just below this recent low. So what am I expecting? The same way we had a deviation from the top side of the range. Believe it or not, I'm waiting for the same thing, a deviation to the bottom side of the range. Now, where? fixed range volume, Fibonacci retracement from the bottom all the way to the top. This is going to show me that the 0.618 level, which is the most important level, is going to be at 61,100. Fine, cool. 0.5 level, why am I not looking at it anymore? Because we already had a reaction there. We came down, crashing down, hit the 0.5 level, and we went long there. And we made a fair amount of money and we were really happy, okay? I'm now waiting for the next push down, which is going to be to the 0.618. It's not only that though. It's not only that. Now, yes, it is time to pull out the fixed range volume profile. From this whole side price action, what can we see there that is fairly interesting? The value area low is literally where we have the 0.618 level. Okay, so we went short there, and if we just traded, if we were just only looking at volume profile, we would be saying we go from the value area high to the value area low, you go long again to go back up to the value area high. Okay, a fixed range volume trader would just tell you this, and that's it. I'm telling you the value area low makes a lot of sense because we will be grabbing a lot of liquidity. And look at this, this level is coming in just below the value area low. That's why I'm saying a slight, very small deviation down to the 0.618 would mean grabbing this liquidity point. Okay. Now, we're now going to go one step further to make sure that my analysis is as complete and as good as possible. We're going to turn on our indicators. Please do remember these are indicators which we have created over the past 5 years. And believe it or not, I'm giving them to you for free. You have access to them for free. I'll tell you more about them in just a second. I'm going to delete this now as well really quickly. And I'm actually going to go down to the 2 hourly time frame. If you remember, right, this was an accumulation range. An accumulation range which was the birthplace where we all wanted to go long because we then saw this massive push up. Okay, so we went long exactly there because we grabbed this recent liquidity. We had a bullish divergence on the daily time frame. We had a bunch of things that were telling us that was a decent place for us to go long. If we push down, go below this low, which we have the little liquidity point marked up there. If we go below that low, we hit the 0.618, we hit the value area low, we would be testing the top side of this range. That's a very bullish thing to do. On top of that, I'm just seeing now we have got a 2 hourly fair value gap right there. If I trace again my Fibonacci retracement in case you don't remember where it is, it's exactly right there. 0.618 coming in at the top side of the range on the 2 hourly fair value gap just below this recent low on the value area low. Okay, that's it. There's nothing more for me to say to you now. So you might say that would be quite an aggressive push down on Bitcoin. Actually, when you look at it, it's not that much. It's 3% maybe. Okay, it's not a super crazy down move, but there's obviously going to be more volatility on Bitcoin rather than altcoins. That's exactly why when I started this video, I started it on the Bitcoin dominance. We're going to have a look at Ethereum in just a second as well, but that's what I'm expecting on Bitcoin. This little push down where I'm then going to be going long. If I retrace it for the last time, I promise, the Fibonacci retracement, what is my trade going to be looking like? Because I don't want to miss out. I'm going to go long literally right there with my stop loss of 2%. You don't need more than a 2% stop loss. Now, what am I going to do? I'm probably going to be setting this as a limit order because knowing Bitcoin, this is probably going to do it while I'm sleeping, while I'm out, while I'm eating, while I'm having a shower. So if I'm lucky, if I'm able to, and this happens while I'm sitting in front, what I want to see is a liquidity sweep. I want to see the price go below this point and then close the body of the candle above this level and then get a successful liquidity sweep. Why? That's going to allow me to have a really tight stop loss with an even bigger take profit. Take profit number one is simply going to be all the way up to the value area high. Okay, let's not forget we do still have a bullish divergence on the weekly time frame, which I'm not going to ignore. Okay, so having said that, let's have a really quick look at Ethereum. This is basically how we left off our analysis on yesterday's video. I've turned off the indicator so that is nice and easy. I can first start without and then I'll turn them back on. We can see that Bitcoin has been dropping more and more and more and more, although, and actually we lost the most recent low on Bitcoin, while Ethereum hasn't even tested the recent low yet. That's what this white line is. On Ethereum, we also went long at around this area because it was a successful liquidity grab. Okay, you can see the wick right there. Went below this low, grabbed it, fine. We haven't even lost it, which is proving again that concept that I started this whole video with, saying I'm expecting more aggressive moves on Bitcoin compared to altcoins. Again, I repeat, this is for the main altcoin. This is not for your random shitcoin that moves up a 27% on a daily basis. No, okay? When looking at Solana, when looking at Ethereum, when looking at XRP, when looking at Doge, looking at those type of altcoins, they are, at least in my point of view, going to be moving less. What is going to be a really interesting point for Ethereum is going to be this level right there, 1,830. Why? Because this is a level I really would dislike to see Ethereum lose. If we zoom out and now trace a fixed range volume profile of everything we have got on the screen, we can see Ethereum did a very bullish thing, which is called getting the acceptance back into the value area. Okay, so we were outside of the value area low. We spent a lot of time, we tested, we couldn't get back in, we weren't allowed to get back in, couldn't get back in, could not get back in, and then we did something which was very bullish. We got accepted back inside, and we have been testing, and we have not been able to escape. Okay, Ethereum has gotten acceptance into this value area and it has not gotten out of it. This is a very big support. What was once a very big resistance is now a very big support. So that's the reason why I'm basically saying that I don't want to see Ethereum below this point. The important thing is to not see any daily candles close below this blue line. Okay, I strongly recommend you just go and trace this exact fixed range volume profile on your chart. You don't need to be looking on the 5-minute time frame, on the 1 hourly time frame. Just look on the daily time frame, because now you might say, oh Jay, but we've gone below the value area low and we've also gone below it. No, I'm saying go to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, did you close any candles below the value area low? No, you have not. Simply, you have not. So I would be fine, and I would actually be looking for a long if Ethereum made it to 1,830. Okay, if we zoom in a lot more, let's say potentially on the 2 hourly time frame, I now take away this and I turn on our indicators to see the liquidity points. I would be potentially fine with maybe grabbing this first liquidity right there, also seeing what Bitcoin is doing, and then potentially looking for a liquidity sweep. If Bitcoin has not made it to the 0.618 level and Ethereum is still dropping, I would potentially be looking for a liquidity sweep on this next point, which is this low right there, which would be a double grab. First grab, actually triple grab, second grab, and then the third one. That means 1,800 is my limit. If we make it to 1,800, I just told you what my criteria is. I repeat, I do not want to see Ethereum closing daily candles anywhere outside, anywhere below 1,800. Okay, let's go on the 4-hourly time frame, and now I'm going to show you what my next price point is. Okay, my next price point is going to be 1,670. That would mean Ethereum would get punched across the face with a 10% drop. That's very aggressive. I don't think it's very likely. Okay, hopefully, at least that's in my point of view, I would hope not. But why is it a good point? Fibonacci retracement from the low all the way to the high. We can see the 0.618 level lands very nicely with a 4-hourly fair value gap. Not only that, if I double click it, our indicator, and turn on the multi-time frame fair value gaps, go on the daily time frame, we can see we have got 2 time frame gaps sitting in the same area. We have got, once it loads, there we go, a daily fair value gap, 4-hourly fair value gap, and if I zoom in a lot more, you can see there it says breaker. Okay, that's one of the concepts that we've also added to our indicator, which is basically breaker order blocks. We had an order block which was created right there. We broke it, and again, this is another concept that I speak about a lot in my videos. These are virgins. Okay, no, don't be weird. I'm saying they're virgins because they haven't been tested yet. A fair value gap that has never been tested, a breaker order block that hasn't been tested, is going to be at its peak strength. If an order block, if a fair value gap has been tested once, twice, 3 times, the more it gets tested, the weaker and weaker it becomes. I am currently building a little smart money concepts playlist in which I tell you exactly why, the theory of it. I'm not going to go into detail in this video because I've made a video for it just specifically about that. Having said that, just for the fun of it, just because I love this, I'm just going to trace a fixed range volume profile just to see if we get any coincidence. And we do! Shit, no way. We get the value area low coming in as well on the 0.618 level. So, therefore, 1,830 gets lost. We start closing daily candles below it. That's absolutely fine. This is the next place I'm going to be looking for a long. Okay? That's it. There's nothing more for me to say. I've given you some knowledge. I've given you as much knowledge as I thought I could share with you. Having said that, if you want access to these indicators and you also want to learn how I trade, why I trade it and stuff like that, in the descriptions box, there's a link that takes you to our Telegram. Send a message to our support team. Just tell them you want access to these indicators, and believe it or not, you will just get it for free. I'm not going to charge you. I'm not going to ask you for your phone number. I'm not going to ask you for your credit card. I'm not going to ask you for nothing. You just get it on your trading view and you start trading. Look at my videos, see what I'm saying, and then that's it. Okay. I hope you're having a lovely day. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Hopefully, even though it is the weekend, I would actually really like to see some volatility. It doesn't happen often, but it would be amazing, because then we would speed things up, because I'm getting a bit bored of just waiting. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on Sunday. Bye bye.